Let's face it, it's a feeding frenzy, isn't it?
Against you, so it's rife with fraud.
On level, very, very talented works.
Behind the 20th century's biggest art fraud.
Another show, another headache.
Yeah, one and all my subscribers, my future subscribers. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. If you've seen the other videos, you'll know how fantastic the treasure hunt Christmas cards went down with my niece and nephew. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Unfortunately, crime plus art equals money. And like I said, this channel is all about investigating art and behind the scenes, things that you never realised about famous artists. And we're going to be looking at crime. It's a big, big, big subject, especially in the art market. Not the art world. The art world's about techniques in painting. The art world, art market is and fraud and forgery and plagiarism are very rife. And so we're going to look at crime at the moment, but in terms of forgery, you know, the masters of forgery in their own rights.
The auction houses are having pretty fantastic success.
The art market is totally unregulated, rife with fraud.
The trough is the art market. The trough is what's selling.
Going once, going twice, going for a third. On the hammer, 270,000.
What you're doing is putting what's going down well with the animals at the time.
280.
And you're going to be finding this out. John Myatt case. Now that was getting into a completely different depth of criminal fraud. It wasn't just a case of faking someone's artwork. It was really, really infiltrating the art market and how the art market works. Bearing in mind he's got an IQ of 165, he played a game with the market and he nearly got away with it. But we're going to find that out a little bit later on.
20th century's biggest art fraud. A struggling artist was drawn into a con would make millions, with the artist and con man secretly working together for almost a decade, creating fake paintings that would sell as recently discovered works by master artists, fooling the international art world and leaving them devastated and utterly humiliated.
In terms of 20th century art fraud, John Drew and the John Myatt case must rank right at the top.
But the problem was we were being scanned by a very intelligent person on multi-levels. Unbelievable that people would be looking at paintings painted in the same kind of stuff that you put on your walls, basically, and authenticating that.
If I had been a dealer, I'd have most certainly been fooled.
The sophistication and intricacy of this incredible scam saw forgeries of famous artists such as Ben Nicholson and Alberto Giacometti, painted in emulsion and covered in tea, coffee and hoover dust, audaciously passed off as original oil paintings under the art world's noses. The con was masterminded by a cool and calculating criminal with an IQ of 165 whose name was John Drew. He enticed struggling, cash-strapped single-parent John Myatt into his intricate and almost foolproof scam.
John Drew has got
So, preying on people's vulnerabilities, that's what a lot of these forgers were going into. And they were using their intelligence to overcome a system, and they saw the cracks in the artwork and paint, and they maximized on that. And in a way, you can't really get on at them. I mean, it's a game of survival, even more so now. Now, a lot of these forgeries, like you've probably seen on the other programs, they're gonna probably be in the full port disguise, under the pseudonym of being originals, especially when you can fake the authenticity of the artwork. And that's where John Mayer got in under the skin of the art market. And no one now really believes the certification that they've got.
To authenticate his bogus paintings. This shocked the art world to its core.
Basically, it's art historical revisionism. So he's changing history, he's changing art history.
He went to enormous lengths to authenticate the pictures and to change the authenticity of them and the invoice that goes around with them in order to make those paintings believable. And the idea of taking on the art world and of all these superior intellects and to actually get the better of them must have been irresistible to him.
Find a Modigliani made by Kissling, a Modigliani by Elmire, and one Modigliani by Modigliani. And we put these three drawings in front of a group. Let's say one is a director or curator of drawings of the Metropolitan, one is a soi-disant expert, and one is a great art dealer. It could be anyone, from Knödler till Pearls, or any of the great ones, who consider themselves great and experts. And if any of them recognize which one is which, I am ready to make a great gift to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and they can hang it next to some other Modiglianis who are possibly also by me.
Miguel, of course, was famous for doing Vermeers. It's nothing new. It's been going on for probably 2,000 years.
All these people were pretty much frustrated artists, and so they started to copy other artists' work and passing them off as being by them.
Of course, for someone
preying on people's vulnerabilities, that's what a lot of these forgers were going into, and they were using their intelligence to overcome a system, and they saw the cracks in the artwork and the paint, and they maximized on that. And in a way, you can't really get on at them. I mean, it's a game of survival, even more so now. Now, a lot of these forgeries, like you've probably seen on the other programs, they're gonna probably be in the full port disguise, under the pseudonym of being originals, especially when you can fake the authenticity of the artwork. And that's where John Mayer got in under the skin of the art market. And no one now really believes the certification that they've got. And especially when we get NFTs going on and it's all digital. And going back to the book, this is where we talk about not forgery, but famous artists. Pierce Brosnan, Sylvester Stallone, get all that in. Bob Dylan, many other artists pick up the brush and they use that not to create money and fraudulently extract that from someone on a pretense that it's an original, even from them. They could equally say that, yeah, I'm Pierce Brosnan, I'm 007, and I painted this, blah blah blah. Well, how are you meant to really know that it was from Pierce Brosnan or Bob Dylan? You know? See, and that's why I say, buy my original book. Buy original art. There is that quote that I have said before, and it comes from a very famous person, and I'll reiterate it to you now. This particular person said, "It has become appallingly clear that our technology has outsurpassed our humanity." And that was by Albert Einstein. Now think about that. Even he understood the beauty of art, humanity, and how we're just... I bet he probably feels a little bit upset about himself and coming up with E equals MC squared, and how it might have impacted on us as human beings in a negative way. Maybe that's what he was trying to say. So, crime. Watch.
Another show, another headache.
He's a credit to his race.
What race is that?
The 100-yard dash. Science, huh? They can put a man on the moon.
Yeah, but they can't put a moon on a man.